In the wake of the United States Supreme Court decision validating that the Chinese communists are using TikTok in order to gain data and information to compromise our national security, upholding the quote-unquote TikTok ban, now you got Donald Trump being lobbied by the Chinese president of ByteDance, which is ultimately controlled by the Communist Party, suggesting that he has been in contact with Donald Trump, and Trump has promised that he will protect the First Amendment rights, apparently, of the Chinese communists to continue to undermine our national security. It is a political hand grenade created skillfully by Joe Biden, who's decided that he's not going to do a darn thing to enforce the ban Sunday night. He's going to toss it over to Donald Trump and let Donald Trump explain to the American people why he's protecting the First Amendment rights and economic value of the Chinese over the safety and security of American people. I'm Michael Popak. Yes, I got a report on it here on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Hit that blue subscribe button and let's get to it. I reported earlier about the United States Supreme Court decision, 20 pages long, 9-0, all 9 justices, regardless of their political stripe, voting to protect our national and economic security. There's no other way to put it. It is a foreign adversary-controlled app. That is TikTok. I'm not commenting on the content providers or the creators. I got Midas Touch people that are on there. I get it. It's a great platform. But if the platform is rotten, then any kind of fruit from that is not going to be something I'm going to be interested in taking. So we get the fruit of the poisonous tree problem. That's a poisonous tree. That's TikTok. Because just to explain it, in order to operate as a Chinese company, you have to agree, or your company will be confiscated. You have to agree that the Chinese government at any time, for any reason, morning, noon, and night, can access and take all of your data. Just pull your servers, take it over to the government, and use it for their own purposes, meaning military-grade information that they're obtaining from their 170 million adversaries that live in America. That's the population that uses TikTok. Now, Donald Trump is on the horns of a dilemma. On the one hand, he wants to act tough and supposedly protect national security and our economic interests. On the other hand, he likes TikTok because he thinks it helped get him elected. And so he's been currying favor, and they've been lobbied by the Chinese. In fact, I got a video clip right here, which is a statement by the CEO of ByteDance. He might as well just be wearing a Communist Party jacket. Here's President Chu, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, President Chu for ByteDance, controlled by the Communist Party, saying that he's very, very happy about that Donald Trump's going to protect First Amendment rights and work out a deal with TikTok. Here's the clip.
Hi everyone, it's Show here. As you know, we have been fighting to protect the constitutional right to free speech for the more than 170 million Americans who use our platform every day to connect, create, discover, and achieve their dreams. On behalf of everyone at TikTok and all our users across the country, I want to thank President Trump for his commitment to work with us to find a solution that keeps TikTok available in the United States. This is a strong stand for the First Amendment and against arbitrary censorship. As we've said, TikTok is a place where people can create communities, discover new interests, and express themselves, including over 7 million American businesses who earn a living and gain new customers using our platform. We are grateful and pleased to have the support of a president who truly understands our platform, one who has used TikTok to express his own thoughts and perspectives, connecting with the world and generating more than 60 billion views of his content in the process. To all American users, thank you for making our TikTok community such a rich and vibrant space, for surprising and delighting us every day. Rest assured, we will do everything in our power to ensure our platform thrives as your online home for limitless creativity and discovery, as well as a source of inspiration and joy for years to come. Thank you. More to come.
Now, what I hear is somebody who's beholden to the Communist Chinese Party, who's saying that an American president is willing to bail them out in order that 170 million people have a place to create their content. There's plenty of other places to create content. The problem is that this particular one is under the control and the thumb of the Chinese government. They don't deny it. The TikTok lawyer didn't deny it when he was arguing before the United States Supreme Court. He couldn't deny it. He just said it was unlikely. Unlikely. Every Chinese company, in order to exist, has to agree that they have a instant backdoor open policy to the Chinese government. Every information, any information, the algorithm itself is all subject to being reviewed, retained, vacuumed up by the Chinese to militarize it and weaponize it against us. We are the adversary. For them, they are the adversary for us. Hell, just today, there's new reporting that while we're talking about TikTok and the unlikeliness that they're going to weaponize our own data against us, a government-backed hackers hacked into the Treasury Department and hit our Treasury chief, Janet Yellen, and grabbed documents off her server. 3 weeks ago, I told you about the fact that we caught the Chinese hackers living in 9 different mobile cell phone carriers networks in order to peer in to communications of Americans. They broke into the Treasury Department workstations. They broke into J.D. Vance's and Donald Trump's own phone. And now Donald Trump is working out a deal. Look, the Supreme Court didn't want to hear about that. Supreme Court did not mention at all that Donald Trump had lobbed in a last-minute brief saying, I'm the president-elect. And this was written by John Sauer. John Sauer, who is the incoming Solicitor General for Donald Trump, the 10th Justice, got shot down by the Supreme Court. They ignored the brief. Donald Trump said, I'm getting in another week. Just give me another week. I'll cut a deal. Now, in order for him, under the law that Congress passed, under the law that requires the divestiture by ByteDance has to sell this to a non-foreign adversary entity, meaning not Russian, not Chinese, not Iranian, nothing. There is a provision in there, a little bit of a loophole that Donald Trump may try to exploit, that allows the president to extend if there are ongoing good faith negotiations about the sale. Who's the buyer? We're not in that world. There's no buyer been identified. There's no contract. There's no memorandum of understanding. There's no term sheet leading to a contract. So he can't use that provision. But you know Donald Trump, he will. Well, I think that they in good faith are trying to sell, just that we left them in a bad position. What's the bad position? This has been litigated for over 2 years. The fact that they waited to the last day, last hour, last minute does not create an emergency for which the president should be bailing out our adversaries. You know? There was a very famous, very good judge down in Florida I used to practice in front of, Judge Shockett. She passed away. She used to have a sign up in front of her door before you went in to argue in front of her. And I love this phrase. The phrase was, your bad planning is not my emergency. Don't tell me it's an emergency because you sat around for 2 years and didn't do a darn thing, hoping, what if Kamala Harris had won? What would they have done then? You know? But you see, this is why President Chu is coming to the inauguration and sitting next to Donald Trump or on his lap during the inauguration, along with all the other tech giants who have bought their way into Donald Trump's heart, literally. It's going to make for an awkward meeting since the ban goes into effect the night before. So we're going to continue to follow all of this. Here's what Merrick Garland, remember, he's still the Attorney General until 12:01 on Monday. Here's what he just said. The court's decision about the Supreme Court enables the Justice Department to prevent the Chinese government from weaponizing TikTok to undermine America's national security. We welcome today's decision by the Supreme Court. The Justice Department has long warned about the national security harms from PRC, that's the Communist Party in China, control of TikTok. Of course, you just heard the video post by Xu Zhu, the president of ByteDance, about thanking Donald Trump for his pledge to save TikTok, whatever that means. Donald Trump in 2020 signed an executive order exactly the same as the law that has been passed by Congress, which said that he understood that TikTok posed a national security risk and was being controlled by the Chinese government to suck up and vacuum up information from Americans, and he tried to ban them. All right? That was Donald Trump then. He's been out of the government for 4 years. He hasn't been privy to any national security briefings. So why does he suddenly think the Chinese aren't doing that? Or he doesn't care. He's like, yeah, but the cute cat videos, you know, that's not where I'm at, actually. You've got Here's the quote from the case. This was a 9-0 Supreme Court case that I reported on. Per curiam, meaning no one particular author, the entire court authored it. Congress has determined that divestiture is necessary to address its well-supported national security concerns regarding TikTok's data collection practices and relationship with a foreign adversary. I mean, it's not a First Amendment issue. It is a national security issue. This is about corporate divestiture. This isn't about gagging speech that we find offensive at all. This is about just forcing a divestiture to it gets out of the hands of a foreign adversary on a communications app. And that's where we're at. I'll continue to follow the next steps. Joe Biden smartly punted it, threw the live hand grenade over to Donald Trump and said, here, you use your political capital to tell the American people why you're cozying up with the Chinese, who are our enemy. Could you imagine me doing a hot take like this 40 years ago? I mean, if I had a time machine and I could take my equipment back with me, I could do a podcast hot take. Could you imagine if I was a reporter back then and I had to report that an American president was in bed with the Chinese or the Russians? I mean, people would be like instantly running him out on a rail with they pick up pitchforks and torches, and he would no longer be the president of the United States until he was impeached and convicted. But today, I like cute cat videos like the next person, but I don't think that's what this is about. It's about the platform being controlled by a foreign adversary against us. And that's exactly, I think the Supreme Court got it right. I'll continue to follow it all. You're on Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Hit the free subscribe button. Help us continue to grow this pro-democracy channel. Until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popak. In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.